Have you ever been alone? I mean, truly alone. Isolated from everyone and everything. Not many of us can say that we have truly felt what it's like to be in isolation for so long that we ourselves begin to feel lost in the waves of our subconscious. Our only communication being the one that takes place within our own mind. We'd probably have the same conversations with ourselves over and over again without realizing it. It'd probably become routine to do so. There's only one movie that has ever captured that feeling for me, and that movie is I Am Legend.
I'm just gonna get right to the point here. I Am Legend is a fucking amazing movie. I think this movie is criminally underrated. I know there is a book called I Am Legend, and I know that movie isn't an accurate portrayal of said book, but quite frankly, I do not care.
You think I care? Look at me. Do I look like I care? Look, just take it. Do I look like I care? Look at me. Look, no, Sharice, look at me. Do I look like I care? Look. I don't care.
I realize that there are mixed feelings about Will Smith in the public, and I think his presence in the film has people watching it with preconceived notions of how good I Am Legend could possibly be. What I will say is this. I'm a very strict person when it comes to the films. I like and enjoy, and in my opinion, most films out there fall on the side of meh, with an even smaller amount in the masterpiece, ooh, voila, Papa Bliss section over here. This is where I Am Legend is. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, man, you just like it because you like sad things and the dog dies. And I gotta say, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, you kinda right.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Listen, it's not that the dog dying is what makes this film good. Any Joe Schmo can write in a death for a movie for a cutie patootie like Sam, and it'd be sad because she's in fact a cutie patootie. What makes Sam's death in the movie so much more powerful than most other films is what her death meant to our main protagonist. And I don't mean that in the normal, oh, it's sad I just lost a pet kind of way. Because, let's face it, losing a pet is oftentimes just as powerful of a loss as losing a family member. However, what Sam meant to Robert Neville in this movie transcends any loss under normal circumstances. I could talk about how Sam was a last gift from his family who passed away right when things were starting to fall apart in New York, and that's why it matters, and it certainly has some merit. But it goes even deeper than that. Sam was the last thing keeping Dr. Robert Neville tethered to reality. When this movie starts, we jump in not at the beginning, but at the end of Robert's story. The years spent alone in New York City filled with threats that are unrelenting has taken its toll on his psyche. He dissociates every night he hears the alarm on his watch, as he is reminded of his reality. Every night he goes to bed, he relives the final moments of his family being taken from him.
You protect Daddy!
No, baby, I can't. Daddy can't take the dog. Sorry, I gotta go.
If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone.
Those moments tie together in short spots throughout the film, and in doing so, we experience the fractured nature of his own living experience. Each dream reminds him of the promise, the declaration he made to his wife when she pleaded for him to go with them away from everything, and he adamantly said,
I can still fix this. Ground zero. This is my site.
those words prevented him from joining his family, and with their deaths, He has to now prove to himself that he could still fix things, even if it all feels pointless. You see his frustration when another experiment, maybe the 1,000th time he's done one like this, has led to less than desirable results.
Respiration slowing. Pulse 190. Core temperature 105. 104 and decreasing. We may have something here. GA series serum 391 compound 6, ineffective on humans.
He is at the very edge of a cliff in his mind, and Sam is the one thing holding him back from killing everything and himself in the process. When he loses Sam, he is so desperate for someone, anyone to talk to, that his next step is making conversation with a mannequin that he knows isn't real, but is so desperate for it to be.
Promise my friend I would say hello to you today. Hello. Hello. Please say hello to me. Please say hello to me.
In many ways, it comes off as a prayer being said to an indifferent God, and that is powerful in ways that I can't fully express. Losing Sam was the hardest and most powerful moment in the film. The song choice, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley, a song about perseverance and looking at life through a different lens that is focused on love, is perfectly juxtaposed with the world that Robert lives in. He sings the song to Sam as she begins to transform into another creature, another unrecognizable monster. And when he sings, he's almost on the edge of crying. But if you notice, when she is finally gone, there are no tears to be had. She is gone just like his son and his wife and everyone he's ever known. He is the last person standing, and he has lost ground zero. He couldn't justify not going with his family any longer. He couldn't justify continuing to search for a cure. In many ways, this film reaches its emotional height at this point, and it never fails to give me goosebumps. As much as I love this film, there are some flaws. So as the completely impartial and unbiased individual that you all know me to be,
Stop the cap.
I will be talking about the most glaring flaw of the film. The ending, or rather, the endings, are probably the weakest portion of I Am Legend. I've seen both endings of the film, and I'm not in love with either one. The original ending features Robert Neville dying in a sacrificial fashion as he charges at a group of Darkseekers, grenade in hand. There are a few notes hit on with religion that kind of twist what the film was about from the start, and in the end it kind of leaves us with a slight feeling of being unsatisfied.
To the colony.
There's no colony, Anna. Everything just fell apart. There's no evacuation
You're wrong.
plan.
There is a colony. I know, okay?
How do you know, Anna?
I just know.
How? I said, how do you know? How could you know?
God told me.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
If we listen, we can hear God's plan.
God's plan.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you about your God's plan. There were 6 billion people on Earth when the infection hit. KV had a 90% kill rate. That's 5.4 billion people dead, crashed, and bled out dead. That's a 1% immunity. It left 12 million healthy people like you, me, and Ethan. The other 588 million turned into your dark seekers. And then they got hungry, and they killed and fed on everybody. Everybody. Every single person that you or I has ever known is dead. Dead. There is no God. There is no God.
The second ending is arguably worse in my opinion. Instead of Robert giving his life to save the woman and child he just met, this ending is more akin to the book as it begins to really blur the lines between whether or not Darkseekers are actually monsters. Which would be fine, except we barely see this explored as a topic in the film, save for a few lines of dialogue and a couple of different shots of the head Darkseeker seemingly commanding all the other Darkseekers. This ending ignores everything we've been watching, and pushes for a more sci-fi route that feels unneeded in my opinion. What's worse is that the sequel to I Am Legend is actually planning on using this ending as the explanation for why Robert Neville is still alive. For a movie that is as beautiful as it is up to a certain point, leaving the door behind for a sequel always felt like an injustice to the story we experienced. This story of I Am Legend never needed a sequel. What it needed was for Robert Neville's story to feel complete. He was a broken man when we started the film. When it ends, we needed to see this broken man put himself back together. Based on everything I'm seeing, I have little hope that the sequel will show how Robert Neville struggled to choose to keep carrying on, and the original ending allows him to die too soon. But with that being said, there's so much this film does well, that it actually clocks in at number 8 on my all-time favorite movie list. And now, for the grand reveal, drum roll please.